I believe what the Houthis are doing in terms of stopping Israel doing a genocide to implement a blockade on the Red Sea is a good thing. 10 toes fucking down. They are on the morally right side.
And his go-to responses are that they're taken out of context, or people just don't get it, or you're a Zionist Nazi. And it doesn't line up at all with his appearances in mainstream media. He's got a much cleaner and more approachable personality, so much so that he's even referred to himself as Zoomer NPR. So I decided I wanted to take...
I met Hasan once as part of my job. I didn't know he was so disliked though. Yeah, I think he hides his power level extremely well. By the way, I think I saw your profile. Very impressive, okay, if true, okay? Yeah, very cool stuff.
Go look and see what Zoomer NPR was really like. For 1 week, I would watch Hasan's stream start to finish and report back what I learned. Let's see how Zoomer NPR stacks up to regular NPR.
Video vigilante? I'm kidding.
Black South Asian prosecutor, hashtag girl boss. Black South Asian prosecutor, hashtag.
I've made a terrible mistake. I really don't like this meme that Democrats just use diversity to paper over institutions without substantively changing them, especially when you compare them to Republicans. All you need to do is take a look to see that they are very different. Trying to critique by calling it...
Why isn't the game showing? I don't get why Borderlands 2 isn't showing on the screen for whatever reason. Okay, it shows on this screen, but not on this screen? What? Okay. Fine.
out something as tokenization becomes its own form of tokenization because you misunderstand the circumstances and deny the agency of the people who choose to be a part of those systems. How far are we into this? 5 minutes. Video game me and a Minecraft. The actual stream starts. He spends about 30 minutes talking about his last basketball game.
With hydration, especially, you know?
Alright, that's fine, I guess. We're easing in. Streaming is a more casual form of content. What's first? Stable Ronaldo was told he's in a sundown town.
Question, is this a sundown town?
Oh yeah,
like 9 o'clock.
What is a stable Ronaldo? Shows the audience some green books he has, that's fine, but we're now 45 minutes in. Can we get to the news? We're on Twitter. Why are we on Twitter?
GOP comms director throwing a Roman? Wait, that is the GOP comms director?
He's letting us know.
I'd like to think, I'd like to think that we jumped straight into the content. I think I jumped straight into the content, right? Like, historically speaking. No?
There's Nazis on Twitter, and they're white women.
Her name is literally Mary Jane Trumper. Party Haley McAnally? Haley McAnally.
Guys, there are white women Nazis on Twitter, and they have funny names.
White ladies that did not have like any sort of interesting personality quirks would just be like a regular run-of-the-mill Republican. Now...
Are you going to play with the audience food when Borderlands 4 comes out? Yes. Sure, why not? I can do it while streaming. But, you know, we just can't talk about the gameplay, you know? Because obviously I'll be streaming at the time. But yeah, sure, like, we can play while I'm commentating shit.
They just hit the Sig Heil.
He calls out libs of TikTok for being a Nazi despite being Jewish.
The people that did that historically did the Holocaust. Yeah, World War II was just a meme. Yeah.
Put a pin in that.
Let's move on from all these fucking freaks and weirdos.
We're an hour and 15 minutes in now. Where's the news? Why is Zoomer NPR just a curated Twitter feed of Nazis? And we're looking at more Twitter Nazis. Who are these guys?
Just some Nazi salutes to today's football match in Rivne, Ukraine.
They're Ukrainian Twitter Nazis, specifically the Azov Battalion, which leads into Hasan giving his point of view on what Ukraine should be doing for peace.
I'm an advocate for the Minsk agreements, an infinitely better proposal than what the fuck is going on currently. But there is under no circumstances a reasonable justification for Russia invading Ukraine, a sovereign power. Donbass is different than Crimea, and Crimea is an annexation that is, in my opinion, justifiable. It is a part of Russia, okay?
Finally, the news. They're talking about Texas trying to redistrict in order to push Democrats.
Yeah, I mean, like, the thing is that, like, with Hasan, he has flip-flopped his, you know, position on Ukraine multiple times, I think. Or was it just one time? I don't know. I think that he hides his power level when it comes to Ukraine. I think that Hasan probably still believes that Russia should take over Ukraine, but on stream he probably is like Yeah.
out of their seats. Hasan lets the clip run without giving any meaningful commentary.
Gavin Newsom is a fake demon. He really is.
Because FYI, just FYI, all right, if you believe that Hasan is a Tinky, all Tinkies believe that Russia should take over Ukraine. All Tinkies are generally like anti-Ukraine. Yeah.
He really is.
All of them.
He's
Yeah.
a fake demon. Gavin Newsom's major problem in California is public transit and the housing market. I fucking despise him. I think he's a demon. I guess
What do
the
you do?
silver lining here, in a weird, twisted way, is that means that like elections will happen.
I need to explain something. It's not a defense of the Israeli state to say that when you criticize Israel, you should be accurate. Obfuscating reality for the sake of vilifying your enemy makes it harder to actually deal with issues on the ground because you waste time disentangling fact from fiction. That is a truth that goes in both directions. And for a government that will enthusiastically pounce on any scrap of misinformation to discredit the entirety of a criticism, you need to be sure you're giving them no opportunity. Make sense? Cool. While Hakeem Jeffries talks to Wolf Blitzer about needing to get more aid into Gaza, Hasan can only focus on the fact that apparently they're both funded by AIPAC.
AIPAC spokesperson Wolf Blitzer is interviewing.
Wait, are Hasan streams really this bad? I feel like I've watched one Hasan stream, one full Hasan stream, and that was specifically the response to Ethan Klein's content nuke. I got the B. Let's go. Yeah, that was specifically the response to Ethan Klein's content nuke, but that was something, I guess. Just, I don't even know what I'm supposed to say there. That was painful. I divvied it up into like 8 videos, I think. None of them are worth watching. It's just me fact-checking Hasan the entire way through. Alright, and me making fun of him. Which, I mean, if you enjoy that, then fine. But, like, it's just painful. Just horrible shit. But yeah.
Doing current AIPAC-funded politician.
Orders are in priority.
Nothing to see here, man. Just
An Israeli, whose grandparents were kidnapped, one of them was murdered, is saying that they need to end the war, and his chat is calling him a Nazi. Again, this person has family that was killed by Hamas on October 7th, and they seem repulsed by him. They should be thanking him. Instead, they're self-righteously alienating the people they need to get the fighting to stop. Then he watches a John Oliver segment and criticizes John for not covering Gaza more.
he was noticeably absent from the conversation.
But that's all we get before he gets stunlocked by a chatter who says they were in the IDF in Gaza.
I've been to Gaza several times.
He proceeds to call him a Nazi, and Israel Nazis doing a Holocaust for the next 30 minutes.
You are literally a terrorist, brother. Fucking terrorist. You are defending a Nazi state's Nazi military. You are a fucking terrorist. I'm a fucking adult. I can handle this conversation. Listen, you don't understand it. Mein family, mein Vater, mein Mutig. We do not hate the Jews. We do not hate them. I did go to Gaza. I didn't shoot anyone. I didn't kill anyone. I've guarded. That's
Oh, it's just like, it's so disgusting, like how racist and virulently like anti-Semitic he is. Like he's just so obviously anti-Semitic here, right? Like, dude, is like he just goes directly for the Nazi comparison. Like, he's so fast. How is he this fast? I don't get it. He's so fast.
all. Yeah, I'm just a guard, man. I'm just a camp guard. Were you just following orders, dude? $0.00 for you to just like be quiet. You know about the Holocaust. Your bitch ass and your fucking family came from Russia to Israel. How is that appropriate? The fucking Palestinian has been
But because Russia was prosecuting Jews? Because the Jews don't feel safe in Russia? For obvious reasons? Because Putin himself fucking hates Jews? Like, what are we
living
talking
there
about?
for generations. Your ass came from Russia.
Persecuting, right. Persecuting.
How is this anything? How is this anything but Nazi fucking ideology? Jewish supremacist attitude. Israel is built on the principles of Zionism, okay? Which is, as I repeated, a Nazi ideology. Asking me if Israel should exist is like asking, should Nazi Germany?
The ideology that was made to counter fascism and literally the Nazi ideology is a Nazi ideology. Okay, dude. Okay, very cool. Awesome,
Germany
I
exists.
guess.
Okay, we're finally off Israel, thank God. And we're on to Zoran Mamdani. Okay, Fox News doesn't like him, and he spends the next 30 minutes shitting on Dems.
With the pepperoni nips. This is the best Elizabeth Warren tweet, and it's not even Elizabeth Warren. It's Donald Trump's tweet about Elizabeth Warren. And
Now we're learning about Hasan's
he
Twitter
says,
beef with Drew
he
Pavlov.
tweeted, I've been to Israel 3 times.
Okay, now we're on to Trump is putting tariffs
just
on
like
India. No,
Drew
he's still
Pavlov
talking about
is
Drew.
literally about to go to jail. And
Let me
I
just-
think he got like a $1,000.
Okay, now it looks like he's talking about the news. That's nice. Anyway, he finally hits play on the video and he walks away. First comment when he comes back.
It's kind of pointing to
It seems like India no longer lying, and my heart goes out to the Hindutva fascists. I feel like they probably thought that like Modi and Trump were literally the best friends on the planet. Like no one is a closer friend to India than Donald Trump. Oh my God, he's been cut in half. Yeah. I unsheathed my katana. I just did my special move. Yeah, I cut him in half. Your anti-Semitic sword, yeah.
But then he uses Twitter in order to explain the tariffs.
We're the ones paying those taxes, you dumb fuck. Yeah, you go to buy a bed on Amazon that was made in Vietnam. The bed is now sailor could buy ahead against the tariff increase and can't do that into perpetuity. Tariffs make sense if you do this strategically.
Okay, another piece of critical news. Trump fired the commissioner of the Bureau of Labor Statistics because they reported honestly on his dismal job numbers.
That's one new job right there. True. But also that's one layoff plus a new job. So I think it cancels itself out. Next month's jobs report, 1 million jobs. You love it. You love this.
How do we, dude? How does anybody watch Hasan? It's just impossible. This guy is so anti-content. Like I just. Oh wait, hold on. It's because he bots, right? Wait, was he caught in the botting ban? Does anybody know? Does anybody know whether or not he was caught in the botting ban?
See it, America's hot.
We then spend the last hour of the stream on 2 separate Fox and Friends interviews with TikTok influencers who give male fashion advice and female dating advice respectively. And then the stream ends. Day 1 over. What did we learn? Claudette Colvin was born September 5th, 1939 in Montgomery, Alabama. While in high school, she joined the NAACP Youth Council, where she would meet another Montgomery native, Rosa Parks.
Yeah.
All right, another day. Let's get...
Wait, what?
Sit alone.
Okay, what's going on today?
I watched the first episode of King of the Hill. It was all right.
He's going to debate Charlie Kirk,
Dartmouth, where I'm going to be debating Charlie Kirk.
and apparently Epstein had a photo with
Yeah, I
Castro.
know.
He's really disappointed about that.
How the fuck does he have a photo with Fidel, bro? This hurts.
Japan,
This hurts so much more. This hurts so much more than Chomsky. Hated some of y'all's faves are going to be implicated. Like
First news story. Sarah Huckabee Sanders visits the Western Wall.
literally, this is the one thing about Judaism that I do not know. Like, I mean, I've learned deep lore on this broadcast about Sukkot, about the citrus, about the stick and the tent. It's just the holy wall. I don't know. Wait, what the fuck? You don't know either? How do you not know? You're Jewish. Why do Christians go there and like...
Dude, I just don't like the way that he says Jewish. It's like with the hard J, okay? It feels like it's been said in such like vehement like disintegration mode. I don't fucking know. It's just the way he says it. It's just so like viscerally hateful, you know?
cry and stuff. I'm gonna be real.
tell.
It's not much. It's the outside wall of the second temple. This is the Temple Mount, mega holy, great place to pray.
How has he been doing commentary on Israel-Palestine for so long and he doesn't know about the Western Wall? It's one of the main points of contention and negotiations for the two-state solution.
It's just it's just the wall, man. Calm down. Like it just
wall.
politicians are doing the classic like we're going to Israel to show how fucking to show how much we love Israel routine. That's it.
Okay, an hour and 20 minutes in, actual news. Trump is on the roof.
Oh, he's getting up there.
Doesn't do any investigating, just thinks it's funny.
Do a flip!
Anything about the dementia-addled president who's killing millions of people around the world by cutting USAID and facilitating the genocide in Gaza needs more scrutiny? No? Okay. But Trump and Harris were the same.
What is this? It Follows 2014.
Epstein comes up. That's a problem squarely on Trump, right? No, Republicans are subpoenaing Democrats, including Bill and Hillary Clinton. He spends the majority of time on them instead, thinking it's funny.
Bill Clinton can do the funniest thing.
Okay.
I'm just saying. Take it all down, baby. Come on. Come on. Mutually assured pedophilia destruction.
He's upset that Cory Booker doesn't want to endorse Zoran Mamdani.
He had no issues pumping Mayor Adams.
Why should Cory Booker endorse Zoran Mamdani? What?
This is all about Israel, 100%.
And we're back to Israel because he's corrupt because of AIPAC.
And Israel is not even just about Israel. Israel is about democracy. AIPAC money is consequential. It is important, especially at a time like this. In late recording, Cory Booker says he and AIPAC president text message back and forth.
Just FYI, Zoran Mamdani apparently didn't endorse Kamala Harris. He doesn't deserve anything. The fuck? No.
Forth like teenagers. AIPAC is simply a representation, tip of the iceberg, in terms of how pervasive Israeli lobbying efforts are and how pervasive Israeli influence is in American politics.
This is Professor John Mearsheimer. He's a political science professor at the University of Chicago.
If you can replace every single time somebody mentions Israeli with Jew and it sounds offensive, it's probably anti-Semitic, okay? Just a word of advice here, okay? If you replace every single time somebody says Israeli with like Jew, it unquestionably sounds crazy, it's probably anti-Semitic, okay? Pro tip, okay?
In 2007, he wrote a book called The Israel Lobby.
If you replace every single time somebody says thug with black people, it's probably racist, okay? Same thing.
And U.S. foreign policy, which was about the Israel lobby and U.S. foreign policy. The argument of the book is that Israel leads American foreign policy in the Middle East at America's expense. Not quite Mossad did 9/11, but it's still pretty inflammatory. Today, he's going to tell us about the Greater Israel Project. Greater Israel is the idea that Israel has a religious compulsion to conquer the land from the Nile River in Egypt to the Euphrates in Syria and Iraq, along with the entirety of Lebanon and a large chunk of Saudi Arabia. This is despite the fact that Israel hasn't done any conquering, even with its projection of military force. Israel has gone into Lebanon multiple times and left. It gave Egypt the Sinai for peace. Jordan administers Al-Aqsa Mosque in Jerusalem. And despite bombing Syria, the IDF has actively removed Israelis who have tried to set up settlements across the border. This does not make West Bank settlements minor in comparison, nor is it excusable for the way that it has made reconciliation needlessly harder. The point is that it lacks historical evidence that Israel's plan has been to rip up peace agreements with its neighbors and start a war on 5 fronts, with manpower it doesn't have, to seize territory it cannot hold, with military aid it won't get. Unless he thinks that the US would be willing to help with that because of the Israel lobby. So we're going to listen to this guy talk about Greater Israel, okay? Where is he talking about this? We spend 2 hours listening to Tucker Carlson's podcast uncritically. Hasan will tell you that Tucker is a fascist.
Tucker Carlson is not an ally, and I will explain to you why over and over again.
He'll just also tell you he agrees with everything they're talking about.
Everything from here on out, he's cooking with gas. He's 100% correct.
And not once will he ever consider putting those two thoughts together. Remember that one time Tucker Carlson had on?
Adolf Hitler is firing off radio broadcasts, giving speeches, trying to get the message to these people that Germany does not want to fight.
Oh yeah, this is like the one episode that Tucker Carlson has with this like Holocaust Hitler apologist person who does his job honestly really well. Like he does a great job, like kind of hiding the fact that he is a Hitler apologist, I guess. You know, not really hiding it, but more like it's if you're autistic, you probably would say that he's not an apologist. But if you're not autistic, it's pretty obvious, okay? But, you know.
Churchill wanted a war. I don't begrudge him that.
This is serial doxer, harasser, and all-around awful human being, Bad Empanada.
Stupid name, stupid human.
The noted terrorist, Menachem Begin, whose name I surely mispronounced, but I mean, modern Hebrew is a constructed language anyway. They pronounce everything wrong.
Hasan won't.
I like how Bad Empanada spread around Loner Box's dogs after he lost a debate to him. Just king shit, you know? Just amazing. For the record, that is sarcastic, okay? Lonerbox, please don't make a hit video on me.
Correct that little obvious anti-Semitic tidbit, but his chat certainly seems to like it. But he will correct one thing.
Ronald Reagan was an extremely Trumpish president. He was just better on camera than Trump is, because he was an actor and Trump isn't. And
Wrong! Donald Trump is a TV guy as well, and that's the reason why he's very telegenic and very charismatic. I disagree with Bad Empanada.
Hey, nobody's seen anything like it, even though they've done it twice
That's what
before.
You disagree on?
And in a certain way, it almost looks like they've abandoned the state. It looks very bad. Yeah, go ahead.
Zoomer NPR, everyone. Oh my god, we're finally done with Tucker. I have no more energy. Now we're at RFK banning mRNA vaccines, which is really, really bad.
Oh my god.
Bro, dude, I feel like lobotomy would be more painless compared to Hasan's stream, okay? It's just, again, as somebody who has literally covered an entire Hasan stream before on stream, it's just, it's as bad as you think it is. It is as bad as this person says it is, okay? It's just...
Am I crazy? Isn't
nonsense.
mRNA research like literally working to cure cancer? A Jeffrey Epstein associate is molesting the field of...
Go from RFK ending what might be one of the biggest public health advancements since the inception of modern vaccines, back to being happy because Trump is going after Adam Schiff.
Oh my god.
Part of that is...
Oh my god. Senator Adam Schiff under federal criminal investigation for alleged mortgage fraud violations. Oh my god, I hope they arrest him. Oh my god, I hope he goes to prison. Yeah, this is political. Sure, I don't care. Lock him up. Lock him up. I know Trump is doing this out of pure malice. This motherfucker got like $6 million from AIPAC. Shifty Schiff.
He reads the full Trump social media post about Schiff. Then he reads another full Trump tweet, this time about the Doge kid named Big Balls getting mugged, and completely glosses over the part where Trump talks about federalizing DC, because of a fact he finds out about the attackers.
One of them is a girl?
Wait, what?
Claudette Colvin used the buses in Montgomery to get to school and back home. The buses back then were segregated, meaning that if a white passenger boarded, they were given priority for the front of the bus, and black passengers had to go to the back. On March 2nd, 1955, Claudette was riding home when...
I'm playing a very heavily modded version of Darkest Dungeon, okay? Honestly, I should share my mod list. I should share all of my mod lists, honestly, because I know that multiple people have asked for them. Understandably, okay? But, you know.
A white passenger boarded and she was told to move. She refused, and so the bus driver called the police and she was arrested. 9 months later, Rosa Parks would be arrested for the same offense.
Wait, why are you telling us this?
Alright, what fresh hell awaits me today? So he begins with streamer and YouTube drama. I don't care, you don't care, let's not care together. He calls out Twitter as a Nazi site, which he continues to use.
Then you got Elon Musk buying Twitter and then making Twitter into this like fucking neo-Nazi breeding ground. So now people are just like, oh, I don't like someone, let's dox them, let's swat them, let's go after their whole fucking family. And it's basically turning the entirety of discourse into this like incredibly fucked process.
He says the country Georgia,
I'm not very familiar with Georgia,
wants to join the EU because they're Christian, but they look Turkish.
Yeah, I know. I mean, the thing is that I don't need to point it out because we've all pointed it out 50 billion times. It just doesn't change anything. Just constant and absurd fucking double standards going on. Very cringe, but you know.
Turkish, so they get the anti-Turkish racism and not the anti-Slav Polish racism.
Georgians look fucking Turkish.
Okie dokie then. I feel like there's some backstory here he could elaborate on to not make that seem like a bizarre tangent.
You know?
But instead, we look at an article in the New Republic about Hasan. He says the media hits about him are coming because the media was objectively wrong about the election and not because he's paying for PR.
No,
okay, you ready for my guess? I guess what it's gonna be, okay? I'm guessing that he basically says, the person who made the video says, well, we actually learned more. We actually learned more from these like facts about the civil rights movement than we did throughout all of these Hasan streams combined. I bet that's what he's gonna say. Okay, all right, okay. Let's see if I'm right.
It's probably because public perception on Israel-Palestine...
And Israel, how could I forget? Once again, we almost get to the news, but we are sidetracked back to Twitter for a Fox News video about an ICE raid.
There is no real democratic process here.
That's going to be a new theme here.
Companies don't actually care about any of this shit either. They never cared about woke.
Quick aside about companies not caring about woke. You might think rainbow capitalism is a cheap ploy to get public sentiment on the side of corporations so you'll buy stuff. And you're right. It's also a good thing that public sentiment is on the side of inclusivity and empathy to the point that it would make people feel motivated enough to buy stuff, which, if you believe we live in a hyper-consumer society, would be the highest.
Everyone who complains about rainbow capitalism, I just want to say this one thing. I think that you complain about rainbow capitalism, but can you imagine a world where corporations are like instead like the most exclusive people, like the most racist, virulent, like openly, like I don't just mean like, oh wow, Papa John CEO say like fucking John Pizza said the N-word, right? On like during a fucking conference meeting. I'm talking about like they're openly like flying the Confederate flag, they're flying the Nazi flags, right? While being a corporation or something like that. So the thing is that like that's the alternative you're talking about, okay? And no thank you, honestly. So you know what? I think I'll take the fucking pride flags from the corporations instead of the Nazi flags, right?
Form of love.
And I said that at the time. I was like, this is all fake bullshit anyway.
Finally, we reached the news.
All right, we're going to start off with Ghislaine Maxwell.
Fuck me, we're back to Twitter. So that he can call Trump powerful for punishing corporations.
He'll just be like, I'm revoking your federal contracts.
He criticizes the Trump administration for prioritizing ICE over the affordability crisis.
The fucking affordability crisis.
He says America could be a force for good.
I mean, it always sucked, but it never sucked this hard. America could be a force for good.
And uses China as a comparison.
Like China does this, China does that. China has like incredible social repression. And then
China also has the Uyghur genocide, but you know, I know that lefties don't talk about that, or they don't like it when it's mentioned. But yeah, you know.
refusing to look at any of the good things that the Chinese government has done. High-speed rail, constant focus on like developing American infrastructure.
Infrastructure. Force for good equals infrastructure. 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 Excuse me, I need to go do something.
On the things that we fantasize China is doing with regular frequency, some of which it is doing, and many others it's not even doing, that we're doing here.
Okay, I'm back. And now we've actually finally reached the news.
Ghislaine Maxwell, who is definitely a trustworthy individual, by the way. Trump could just be like, I'm innocent. I told Ghislaine Maxwell to literally say I'm innocent. What comes of that? The only way that there would be movement in a positive direction on this issue is if like people got so mad that he like openly admitted this, that there were fucking riots on the streets and his base was participating in the riots. It would not be because the Democrats have pushed for like an impeachment or some shit like that. We only have one another. You have no trust in liberal institutions. I mean, I want to trust them, but how can you? And the Democrat Party's complacency.
They talked about Texas Dems leaving.
Bro, the Uyghur Piker crime family has gone too far, okay? They have destroyed politics. They have destroyed any semblance of normal politics. It is over, okay? The amount of damage that Chink, Uyghur, and Hasan Piker has done as a part of this, like, mafia family is incalculable, okay? Millions and billions of lives were lost. Entire harvests were destroyed. Entire buildings and cities have been raped and ravaged, okay, by the Chink Piker, okay, crime family. It's tragic.
The state in the clip you were watching not even 10 minutes ago. Weren't you listening? Oh yeah, I guess not.
Corruption has always existed in American politics. When you let go of the aesthetic, all of a sudden people are like, well, wait a minute, this is fucking criminal. This is a criminal enterprise. What the hell's going on? And people get mad.
Chatter actually calls him out for his both sides. And what's his response?
You are becoming a smaller and smaller sliver of society. Like the idea that this was somehow the left's responsibility. Like, no, actually the left was pushing the Democrats to fight. Myself.
Bro, chill. You're gonna get banned. Me? I'm on YouTube. All right.
Included in this. Look at the Democrats now. They're not fighting.
Democrats who left the state.
That's why people voted for Trump, because they wanted change.
He was already president once, Hasan. Why do you think the cheers at Harris rallies were for "we're not going back"? The framing of this moment is so perfect.
They have no dream of a better tomorrow. They have no design for a well-functioning society that actually does right by every single American. So they don't communicate that at all. You're just a lighter version of Republicans. Great. I don't want that. We know Jeffrey Epstein might be related to foreign intelligence, but is certainly not Chinese, okay? The foreign intelligence that Jeffrey Epstein is associated with is Israeli intelligence.
For the last 10 years, Republicans have been hyping themselves up on QAnon conspiracy theories of a secret government pedophile ring, and now the left is doing the same thing.
Okay?
Fantastic. We watch Mark Maron talks about Austin, Texas, calling Californians who move there the Israelis of Americans.
Californians are really the Israelis of America?
Just a drink. A martini, shaken, not stirred.
He is either yelling, eating, gossiping about other creators, or doubling down on his adultish gospel. I prefer his co-host, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Me too. He is generally incredibly insufferable. It's very painful to listen to him. Yes. Also, not only that, okay, his laugh. Oh God, dude, his laugh makes me feel like I'm going through.
True.
Move this thing.
Okay.
Fantastic. We watch Mark Maron talks about Austin, Texas, calling Californians who move there the Israelis of Americans.
Californians are really the Israelis of America? True.
Israelis of Americans.
Californians are really the Israelis of America?
Californians who move there the Israelis of Americans.
Californians are really the Israelis of America?
God.
True. 24 karat gold. La boo boo. It's gross. It's so perfect for Trump. You say, is this a fucking W for the admin or a W for the country? It depends. Only time will tell. We're ruining.
True. It's like your car trying to start up.
For the admin or a W for the country? So karat gold. La boo boo. It's gross. It's so perfect for Trump. You say, is this a fucking W for the admin or a W for the country? It depends. Only time will tell. We're ruining the remaining water supply. We're just poisoning people. We're fucking burning the planet to the ground so that people can make.
How are you going to be on LSF and you don't fail? I don't fucking know. Okay, listen, it's not like I asked for it. Okay, like fucking Stale just came in here and he was like, all right, I'm gonna need you to brigade my subreddit. And I'm like, what? Wait, can you say that? I must have heard wrong. Foodshops, I'm gonna need you to brigade my own subreddit. What? Wait, what? I'm gonna need you to brigade LSF. I'm like, okay, all right.
So people can jerk off to Grok.
We're considering it, yeah, because the crime is ridiculous.
It really seems like you should have more qualms about an authoritarian attempting to unilaterally seize territory, but...
I will defend Big Balls. I will defend his balls. I will defend him against unruly teenagers who beat his ass.
And that's just a way of trying to divert attention to something that's total bullshit. Okay?
Trump calls his connection to a known sex trafficker bullshit. In the Oval Office, mind you. Hasan says nothing because he's not listening.
Tim Cook.
Now we're on to the story of a Utah state senator who's trying to change the age of consent to help one of his family members who was charged with
These
pedophilia.
motherfuckers are real demons, bro.
So apparently a Republican demon is helping a family member get away with pedophilia.
More shall enter the fray. Yo, stumbling through life, Glowmite Queen. Welcome to tier 3, okay? Thank you so much for your support. And thanks for being my moderator, okay? Much appreciated.
But a Democrat demon is...
Brigading is technically different. Yeah, I mean, technically, isn't brigading supposed to be, like, against moderation? Like the authority, like, whatever's the authority on LSF is, like, if they're allowing it to happen, wouldn't it be, like... Yeah, wouldn't it be just... not that, I guess? I don't know, it's just... Yeah. Okay, yeah. I don't know.
Doesn't build trains. And now let's get ready for all of that Republican criticism to leave the viewer's mind because we've reached everybody's favorite topic. I just want to point out how gross it is that he's not paying attention to a video about starving Gazan children as he eats.
Hospital for malnutrition. Tempers from...
Actually so funny. Dude, Hasan, the kind of motherfucker who would, like, go to Africa to virtue signal and stream about starving children, but then when he's off stream, he's, like, openly eating food in front of them, and whenever they come up to him, it's like, Mr. Piker, can we please have some food? He just, like, slaps their hand away, like, ew, don't touch me with your filthy hands. Dude, that's the kind of archetype Hasan is, okay?
On the streets of Tel Aviv.
Okay, bro.
The person Hasan just flipped off is Ehud Omer, who served as Israel's prime minister from 2006 to 2009, so right after the Second Intifada. And even he is saying Israel is committing war crimes and that the war needs to end, but Hasan brushes him off as well.
Israel literally doing the final solution in broad daylight. And you got the most aggressive critic of Benjamin Netanyahu still trying to save face for some.
Mr. Hasan, can we please have some water? Don't touch me, you fucking filthy, ashy child. That's what he would probably be like, okay?
Indecipherable reason. Just be honest, man, that it's not even just about Israel any longer. It is about democracy. The Israeli military officials, the generals, were routinely saying there is no military solution to Hamas. There is no military solution to Hamas. We cannot militarily defeat Hamas.
Further evidence of Israeli Nazism is
Hasan, upon arriving at the local African village. Wow, I haven't seen this much black people since I stepped out of my gated community.
generals publicly disagreeing with their leader's intended military campaign.
Hamas is just an idea. Palestinian sovereignty. Yeah, Fred Hampton said it best. You can kill a revolutionary, but you can't kill a revolution.
It's just using a figure who was left-wing and explicitly non-violent to launder a right-wing, theocratic, authoritarian group's mission is just really gross.
The term anti-Semite not having a serious consequential impact any longer has allowed actual fucking virulent anti-Semites to become major propaganda.
Mr. Hasan Piker, please, we're starving. Hey, don't touch me with your disease-ridden hands, okay? I can't stream if I get sick, okay?
Engaging in reputation laundering.
I didn't expect Hasan to make my argument for me.
Fucking farm the table, baby. That's right. Locally grown, organic bathtub RPGs that they fucking use on the Israeli tank. Electronic Intifada does an assessment report every fucking day almost. I, of course, can't.
Hasan meeting with the local village leader. How could you guys be worrying about water when there is a genocide that's going right now in Gaza? I mean, like, you should spread the word to your village.
Can't play them on the broadcast.
Nothing to see here, just Zoomer NPR casually telling his audience where to find videos of Hamas putting together booby traps to ambush IDF soldiers along with footage of the subsequent attacks.
It is literally not only the legal thing for the Palestinians to do, which is to smoke the Israeli occupying force soldiers that are sitting inside of their fucking armored personnel carriers, okay, that are currently conducting a
martini, shaken not stirred.
I want to see the Candyman fight Hasan Piker.
I disavow, but thank you. I appreciate it. 10 Australian. Thank you.
Fucking ethnic cleansing campaign. It is also the moral thing for them to do. The double Monty, both legal and moral.
But that doesn't absolve the fact that October 7th was horrific. That doesn't absolve the fact of what happened to those kibbutzes.
You just genuinely don't think Palestinians are human beings. Even if you have a fucking Palestinian niece, okay, you must not.
Okay, wait, that has to be edited, right? That has to be clipped out. Wait, I mean, I saw a cut there. So I'm not sure how legit that is. But, I mean, he has to have said more, right, than that. Right?
Think that your Palestinian niece is a human. If you are still talking about October 7, you just want to give permission to Israel to do the genocide, but you're too ashamed to stand 10 toes down and say it.
Okay,
I'm an advocate for the Minsk agreements. An infinitely better
okay, dude, what the fuck?
proposal than what the fuck is going on currently.
The transphobic joke is a nice touch.
She actually went through gender confirmation. Yeah, Sargon of Mossad.
Next, we watch a video of a guy asking people if they're Hasan fans. This takes 45 minutes. Then we're on to a video about...
Dude, I didn't even know he made that joke. What the fuck? I feel like whenever people say that Hasan Piker is like transphobic, like they always go to the one clip where he says, "I hope that every day is as miserable as you can for the rest of your life," right? When he was screaming at chat. But this is way more transphobic than that. What the fuck? Holy shit, somebody show this to the average Hasan viewer. Because the average Hasan viewer has to be like a progressive, right? Who likes transgender people who are like pro-trans shit, right? Yeah. Listen, as a trans person, I hate trans people the most, okay? So, you know.
A drama with the YouTuber Mudahar. Then Chris Cuomo thinking AI AOC is A-OK. And finally, it's over. What did I learn today? That migraines hurt a lot. I'm going to go lie down and think on my sins.
Okay, Rosa
Birmingham,
Parks.
Alabama was referred to by Martin Luther King Jr. as the most segregated city in America. Efforts at nonviolent protest against the city's segregation culminated in the 1963 Children's Crusade.
I feel like half of them are Tanky-esque and are transphobic, homophobic. No, I mean, and you would be right. Tinkies are like objectively like pretty transphobic, because the thing is that if they ascribe to like if they ascribe to like fucking Stalinist models, yeah, Stalin wasn't exactly, and Lenin weren't exactly the most progressive guys, you know. Yeah.
When nonviolent student protesters were met with high-pressure fire hoses and attack dogs at the behest of City Commissioner of Public Safety, Eugene Bull Connor.
Okay.
Day 4. Alright, I know the song can't get any more. I don't care. I don't care.
Mr.
I don't
Beast
care.
is confirmed to be a Mossad PSYOP plant.
An American who served in the IDF had their car torched. He assumes that Israel planted the story to get sympathy.
I assume that they thought that they could get like Israel could get like a good coverage out of this. It's so dumb. There is no power on the left. There is no institutional representation for the left.
He watches an interview with Mike Huckabee. I see we're getting to Israel earlier this stream.
I mean, this is a true religious zealot. First of all, he's the ambassador to Israel, not Jewish, evangelical Christian. Important to notice. Important to mention. This is the real backbone of the unconditional support to Israel's genocide. There are edge cases. There are ultra-Zionist Jews in this country, certainly, okay? And they fund the Trump campaign. Some of them also fund Democrats as well. You got AIPAC, all the shit. These guys are the real base for pro.
Yo, person with the moon runes looking username, thank you. Welcome to tier 1, buddy. Listen, all I know is that the first letter and the last letter came from Mandarin, okay? But the middle letter, no idea what that is, okay? Wu, something, Xing, okay? But you know what?
Israel politics in this country.
And now Fox News interviews Netanyahu. I'm sure this is going to be an extremely productive use of Hasan's time.
Oh, brother. Oh, my Lord.
It's all the same stuff he's already been saying.
This is illegal, by the way, under international law. Everything Israel does is illegal. Israel is an illegal entity, okay? Every single day, he behaves like a man who's caught fucking children, okay, in the archives of like Unit 8200's basement or something. As I've said over and over again, there is no real democracy in America. Reservists are killing themselves with regular frequency because they're like, we killed too many children and I can't deal with it any longer. I'm going to kill myself. And now your numbers are diminishing. The enthusiasm for the unlimited baby murder is going away because people are too scared to continue doing baby murder because there are repercussions for it. They also realize that when you do that baby murder and you then fucking fly out of Israel to go somewhere, people look at you and go, you were in the IDF? Oh, so you're a baby killer. That's disgusting that you're from Israel. What the fuck?
We did something that no army in history ever did. We're supplying humanitarian food to the...
There was one army that did that. The Nazis. What is this? Mike from PA just spent 5 hours apologizing for using the word demonic.
What?
We're supplying humanitarian food to the...
There was one army that did that. The Nazis. What is this? Mike from PA just spent 5 hours.
Wait, what?
We did something that no army in history ever did. We're supplying humanitarian food to the...
There was one army that did that. The Nazis. What is this?
I don't get that piece of commentary. That made no sense, but okay. Good for you, I guess, Hasan.
This Mike from PA just spent 5 hours apologizing for using the word demonic. Yeah, look, I'm not speaking on his situation, but the Israeli Defense Force is conducting...
Oh, Mike from PA said there were a demonic entity. Okay, that's different. That's like way more different. Yeah, sure.
A genocide. I'm not saying an entire ethnicity of people or even an entire nation of people are demonic or anything like that. So don't try to fucking slam words into my mouth. The enthusiasm for the unlimited baby murder is going away because people are too scared to continue doing baby murder because there are repercussions.
I wish somebody would slam something else in my mouth. If you know what I mean. Okay, pause. Okay, Corey.
Just a drink. A martini, shaken, not stirred.
Bro's a word, a noun, and Jews are Nazis.
Yo, Corey, thank you so much for $10. I appreciate that, buddy. Thank you.
For it. That's disgusting that you're from Israel. What the fuck? Overseas, but are worried about their safety. Recommendation include: don't make your Israeli identity obvious. Don't wear shirts with Hebrew, and think twice before walking with a kippah or tzitzit, garments that are worn by religious males. Don't tell strangers that you're Israeli or Jewish. Don't post...
Wait, did Destiny watch this? I'm sure you did, right?
Travel plans on social media or revealing information / post about your trip in real time. I'll leave you with just one question. Is there any country that needs to warn its citizens to hide their identity when traveling overseas? There is currently, as it stands, okay, there are countries that I suspect do this. Russians probably to a certain...
By the way, has if you guys are ever wondering about how to slow down time and how to create time dilation, it's really easy, okay? all you have to do is watch a Hasan stream. All right, every 1 hour spent watching Hasan is 10 years spent in the outside world, outside of Hasan. Okay. Yeah, you'll watch. You want to go forward in time and see your grandchildren, your great-great-great-grandchildren? All right, just fucking watch a Hasan stream. Okay, it's based.
Certain degree do this. Americans also experience a level of shame, so they will claim that they're Canadian or whatever. But you're doing a genocide. Like, what do you mean? Of course there is going to be enmity. Of course there is going to be anger and resentment. You are a Nazi country doing a Holocaust in real time and simultaneously crying about how
If I could trap time in a bottle.
anti-Semitic people are for not letting you do your Holocaust with loud cheers. The fuck? Of course people are going to be like, you're Israeli? Oh, gross. The fuck do you mean? What is the expectation here? Is the expectation here that like people just like cheer when they hear that you're, you know, that you're coming from the country that is now most known for baby killing?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
See, that's the only reason you should exit my stream, okay? Exiting my stream to watch more of my content, my videos. That's such a based reason to exit stream, dude.
If you want to do reputation laundering, you have to tell the Israelis that
Also, Corey, thank you so much for your $10, buddy. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
we hear from on a daily fucking basis to stop saying Hitlerian shit in Hebrew, okay?
Hitlerian shit? Jesus. That's a new one.
Obviously, first and foremost, if there was a tremendous number
In Israel
of
too, tempers
Israelis,
flare on the streets of
specifically
Tel Aviv.
Israeli Jews,
Those
that were
protesting
literally
agree
on the
that
street.
Yo, Phantom Hunter G, you're the wholesome old school RuneScape player that I keep on raiding into. Yo. Dude, listen, I'm gonna be totally real with you. You need to escape, okay? You need to run. I need you to run away, okay? Alright? Listen, it's for your own good, okay? It's for your own good. All right, this space, I come from an extremely toxic space of the internet, okay? I'm extremely radioactive. You need to run, okay? You need to run ASAP, okay? You're too wholesome. You and your Snorlax cap, it's too wholesome. Here, this is the best way I can indicate to you how I feel right now, okay? Without being too loud to my landlord.
Don't let these bags under my eyes fool you, little buddy. I love each and every day I work here at the Glam Burger. Why, what could be better than serving up smiles? Run away from me!
That's how I feel, okay?
It's actively tampering the initiatives of the IOF, okay? It would be a little bit more defensible, but that doesn't even fucking exist. It's like marginal. Half of them are in this chat right now. It's fucking ridiculous.
Jesus Christ. All the indicators they warn about are religious or Hebrew.
Modern Hebrew is a constructed language anyway. They pronounce everything wrong.
For your sanity as well as mine, let's abridge this a smidge more.
Every defender of Israel has one speed. Overly litigious crybabies.
Implies Ezra Klein is racist for asking Mahmoud Khalil about October 7th.
I was, when people were like, oh, Ezra Klein interviewed Mahmoud Khalil, I was like, oh, he probably didn't do the condom hummus shit at this point, right? It turns out, no, he did do that.
He gets excited about the decor for the UAE meeting with Putin, talking about the architecture and the table more than anything else.
Listen, once I move, okay, I am able to be loud, okay? All night long. Pause, okay? Alright.
Grandiose behavior and like massive halls and shit still kind of hits. You gotta have a weird fucking table.
And I don't want any questions about the table.
If you're gonna have a combo like this, it's gotta be on a table like that.
Tables!
I am anti-Putin. I do wish, however, we had like similar weird shit. Fancy ornaments that people literally fucking toiled away making and probably died in the process of building. Okay? That's what I mean. There's like a history associated with this.
We do have that in this country, Hasan. You're just not going to like the examples of it.
Your country has literally no history nor culture aside from Gunburger? No, I know.
We read an article about Ukrainian support for the war effort, and he calls Ukraine a fleshlight. That's
Continues
nice.
as a fleshlight. I didn't say that. You want to know why I didn't say that? Because I'm not fucking stupid and bloodthirsty. Analysis: Putin's claim that war on Ukraine is the target Nazis.
1.5k monthly rent dono goal. We have, listen, if that is the goal to get, okay, listen, I don't want to be open with how much I got in the last like 30 days, okay? Just mainly because people can track that shit. But like, let's just say we're way beyond 1,500. Okay, let's just say that. Okay, but
It's absurd. Here's why. What
it's because of your support. Okay, let's just put it like that. Again, dream job.
is this? This is my analysis too. It's so fucking stupid. I've never lent credence to Putin's idiotic claim that like he was denazifying Ukraine. Nothing to see here, just some nonsense solution to today's football match in Rivne, Ukraine.
It's incredibly important. And somehow I feel like on the left, I don't know how this happened online. Maybe it's because we tend to be younger or whatever, but somehow the party's messaging apparatus, it feels like it's got hijacked from people, by people who...
Hasan proves Destiny's point here about the destructiveness of leftist influencers.
Till the Democratic Party changes and actually becomes an active fighting party, a party that actually cares about its citizens, a party that actually cares about its voters, a party that is actually predisposed with like improving people's lives.
After 45 minutes of Destiny, there's another 45 minutes of stream, but it's worthless fluff, and I want to do something productive to counterbalance the neurological atrophy I'm experiencing, so...
Your job is a grift, you do it well. I'm a grift engineer.
Just watch my Borderlands 2 intro, okay? You're too innocent. Listen, I don't want to subject you to this pain, okay? This stuff is painful, all right? Just listen. It's for your own good, okay? It's better the world was more innocent before I discovered Destiny, okay? Let's just put it like that. I've been cursed with forbidden knowledge, all right? I was once a normie, okay? Once, long time ago, I was a normie. And then I fucked up, okay?
All the different characters build up.
I like how he showed, for tumor, he showed Bad Emanada. That was pretty good, okay?
Which Power Ranger are you? Take this quirky quiz. Obama sent the immigrants to
went through a horrifying process of sterilization. 2018 Hamas charter actually dictates they want 1967 boundaries. Hamas wants a two-state solution. They are the motherfuckers that have been trying to do peace. They are. They 100% are. Google, the Hannibal Directive drill was originally founded as a national socialist state. You are a Nazi. Fucking Nazi.
All of the time.
You want to tell that people in Israel to go back to where they came from? This is where they're from. They were forced to go to Israel.
They could right now. They could go tomorrow.
Really? The Iraqi Jews can go back to...
I simply press the button and incinerator. They got a bunch of fucking 18-year-olds wearing sandals, running up to $30 million fucking pieces of equipment and dumping an IED in there, going, Kobe!
Anything and everything, all of the time. Could I interest you in everything?
Nazi-Nazis, with the Nazis, King Nazi. Nazi Arabs are the same. It's a monolithic force of evil.
And all of the time.
I interviewed Hamas and they told me, I hate Jews. I hate Jews. I want to kill Jews, said Hamas. This is why people call me a disgusting anti-Semite.
Easiest subscribe of all time. True.
Day 5. Come on, Hasan, hit me. Next. He's in Chicago today for the Democratic Socialist Convention to interview Rashida Tlaib.
We're here with Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib.
Can you link that channel? Sure. Hold on. I'll link in chat, okay?
Wow, that was fast. It wasn't.
Okay, now I gotta ban myself for spamming chat. My bad.
It took an hour where nothing happens to get here. We just unironically watched someone's commute to work. Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib represents Michigan's 12th district, which notably includes parts of Detroit and Dearborn. What are they going to talk about?
But the lack of really feeling like the party has their back.
Fantastic.
They wanted a campaign with Liz Cheney.
Kamala did 3 campaign stops with Liz Cheney and gave no concessions in exchange. It was entirely about the important.
He needs to work on the mixing volume on the music. Otherwise, that's a good compilation. Yeah, I think so too.
Of stopping Trump.
I mean, I watched them botch the minimum wage and botch environmental protections.
There were constantly like a revolving villain structure within the Democratic Party that would consistently spoil bills.
For some reason, one Democrat voting against something is evidence of conspiracy, but every Republican of voting against something is just praxis, I guess.
I mean, I think it comes down to the fact that there are people.
Why is this guy rising? He's like rising to the top. I think it's funny. Why is this guy just fucking going up?
For like me and others that don't take corporate PAC money. And,
I'm not. I wasn't considering you a spoiler. I was considering like the centrist Democrats. Who
President Biden produced more fossil fuels than any president prior.
He did. He also used that to push construction of more renewable energy sources than at any time previously, and to exclude that denies crucial context.
Democrats are really good about.
By the way, I know it's a little awkward, me being an H3 orbiter and you being a Destiny orbiter, but I'm still cool with you. These things happen, Lamau. No, I view nothing wrong with you whatsoever, okay? As far as I'm concerned, I don't think I disagree with you on the fact that, I mean, you also think that H3 should have redacted their statement. So, whatever.
Keeping power and trying to keep power, but not using power.
More shitting on Dems.
They don't give a shit about the Democratic base. The so-called, I know you call them centrists. I mean, the Republican, like, folks within the Democratic caucus. I'm not.
I wasn't considering you a spoiler. I was considering like the centrist Democrats.
Though unintentional, that answer is quite revealing about how she sees herself compared to the rest of the party. She's at the end of the horseshoe and she's just reaching across the aisle.
Israel's genocide of the Palestinians in Gaza.
Talib nods when Hasan says there's no democracy.
Because a lot of people are realizing, oh, there is no democracy at all. It doesn't matter what our voices, it doesn't matter how loud we yell.
First of all, there is no fucking strategy in genocide. Either you're against it or you're not.
Okay, but the strategy is how you stop the genocide.
I think that Ta-Nehisi Coates said it best.
Yeah.
If you can't trust them to stop a genocide, what makes you think that they'll save democracy here in America?
Saving democracy is not the job of politicians. It's the job of the electorate. Every time people elect someone who doesn't seek to subvert the democratic process, they are saving democracy.
What I like to call woke dual loyalty, where you're just like, oh, this person is Jewish. Of course they love Israel. And that's a good thing. Versus what someone like a neo-Nazi.
Did I just lose a legendary loot midget? Because of a glitch where he was just rising infinitely to the sky. Fuck that shit. No, I'm reloading the area. I gotta come. I gotta.
He says, oh, of course those people love Israel, and that's a bad thing because they're Jewish.
Democrats are really just trying to get the power back, right? The gavel. But they're not going to use that power when it comes, and it's going to be the same. Being engaged, no matter if it's the voting, because voting should be voting plus plus. I just don't want you to feel like there's no place for you all to be able to use your voice and push back.
I'm scared of the word intifada. I'm scared of this. I'm scared of that. Like,
no one is scared of a college student shouting intifada. But people are rightly insulted that they'd call upon the memory of literally over 100 suicide bombings for a protest ostensibly about peace.
Zionism is an exterminationist ideology built around ethno-religious supremacist values. So when people say like, oh, well, I'm a liberal Zionist, like, what do you mean? It's like saying you're like a liberal Nazi.
I wonder what her Jewish constituents would feel about that. The interview ends, and the
Okay, liberal Nazi is just... That makes no sense, but you know what, go off. I mean, liberalism is like the globalization integration of cultures, right? The integration of cultures, the coming together of peoples, being tolerant of other people, and uniting under capitalism and diplomacy and interventionism, right, above all else, which is very straightforwardly not compatible with Nazism, which is like the direct opposite of that, except for maybe the capitalism part, but yeah.
Funniest thing happens.
We don't really have a formal democracy at this point. We are going to elect a socialist mayor. We don't really have a formal democracy. I'm running for re-election. We don't really have a formal democracy. And even when we don't win,
there is no democracy at all.
Hasan meets some of his fans. After that, he meets up with the hosts of the Jam Pod for a school supply drive.
We're going to go get some food now.
Bull Connor held significant influence in Birmingham and used it to disrupt and harass
You see Hasan rapping? They showed a clip on HT today and I died of cringe. You gotta see it. Can you link me?
civil rights organizers. However, Connor's power was dependent on winning elections, and so Martin Luther King and others would strategize to make sure Connor would no longer stand in the way of their movement. I am so happy this stream is so short. Not even an Amias Rail High can bring me down. We're going to be listening to an interview with Jonathan Greenblatt, the head of the ADL. Ah, boy.
A little bit worried.
It's all the same talking points. The last 5 days, he's just saying the same thing over and over again, and I'm extremely tempted to just roll through, but...
Once the British Empire took over British Mandate Palestine, they basically engaged in a settler colonial operation by sending as many Jewish people to this area as they possibly could. And they did that for a deliberate purpose, to create a settler colony that could be controlled and maintained in this resource.
I wonder if you would apply the same argument for Russia sending over as many Russians as they could over to Crimea or to other places that they want to take over, and then by saying, well, you see, all the people there support us, so therefore we should take it over. Like, I wonder if you would make the same argument, but whatever.
Rich region.
So to begin, the Balfour Declaration of 1917, named for Sir Arthur Balfour, was Britain's written support for the creation of a national home for the Jewish people in Palestine. Prior to this, there were waves of Zionist immigration from across Europe wherein Jews would purchase land, sometimes at multiple times its true value, and maintain it themselves. In some places, this meant...
Okay, wait, no. He would definitely not support that. The reason he would definitely not support that is because... he's literally said Crimea is Russian before. So I don't think, there's no way he actually believes in that theory, right? Or will say that he believes in that theory. But yeah. Hasan should do another IDubbbz content cop, but since Frogan and Denims are out of commission, you could bring in J-Stoke bouncing on his yoga ball, making it hell on his forehead. Based.
draining of swamps and marsh.
I think I already made that argument. Isn't that where the Hitler wasn't bad for annexing Poland thing comes from? What? No, Hitler... Wait, what? If your first thing when you say Hitler was bad isn't like the Holocaust, I'm just gonna raise my eyebrow at you, okay? If you say the top two reasons, if one of the top two reasons isn't like the Holocaust, yeah.
Lands in order to make it habitable and cultivate farmland. In other places, this meant the eviction of Arabs who had been working that land, sometimes for generations. This created tension that was exacerbated by the Balfour Declaration and coupled with rising Arab nationalism as the British took control of what would become Mandatory Palestine from the Ottoman Empire after the end of World War I. Not all Jews thought Zionism was the right way to go. Despite rising European nationalism and violence committed against them, many European Jews thought that assimilation would bring equality. To put it bluntly, they were wrong. It's not easy to just come down and say that the Zionists who bought land and kicked out the people who lived there were correct, and the people who were now without their means of livelihood just had to suck it up. However, there was no perfect means, especially back then, for Jews to find a place to settle. Immigration quotas in America meant that Jews would not be able to reach it, which would continue to impact them after and even during the Holocaust. And the fact that Europe would eventually become exterminationist towards the Jews meant that going to Mandatory Palestine wasn't just the best option, it would have been the only option. But this was still Britain promising land it did not own to people who did not live there. Of course people would be pissed. Now World War II is happening and the world is splitting apart across Allied and Axis lines. Germany seeks a partnership with Egypt, and so Britain, in an effort to sway Arab states towards their side, basically retract the Balfour Declaration and promise Palestine to them instead. Britain issues another formal statement, the 1939 White Paper, announcing that they would no longer seek to make a Jewish state in Palestine, and they would restrict Jewish immigration. They did this in 1939. Now everyone's pissed because Jews are trying to escape Europe and Arabs are trying to regain control of their land, and the British are playing both sides. To say that this was all just so Britain could extract resources like Belgium and the Congo is reductive to the point of being meaningless. The limited number of Jews going to Palestine even after the Balfour Declaration were not enough to make managing the region worth it, and the Jews going there were not arriving as citizens of Britain in another land. Their arrival signaled that they were severing their European connections. When the French were kicked out of Algeria, they could go back to France. For Jews in the 30s and 40s, where could they go?
So you're wrong about that. That's why I don't even like the language of diaspora.
I'm pretty sure Hasan has literally said they need to go back to Germany or something, right? Or go back to Europe? Has he said that? Fuck. I feel like he said that, right? Go back to Europe? Is that what he said?
Because like after a certain point, if you have your roots set here in the United States of America for so many goddamn generations, like you're fucking American, you know? Zionism existed along the same time as a lot of other Jewish forms of self-governance. We had leftist Bundism at the same time. It was competing with a ton of other ideologies and was never inherently going to succeed. It did so because of external factors like Balfour. And then, of course, obviously supercharged after the Holocaust, too. Because then there were plenty of Jews that were genuinely considered stateless and had withstood incredible violence at that point. Which, by the way, if you want to understand what Zionism is, look at the genocide in Gaza, because that's...
It's like he realized he just unintentionally made the argument for Zionism.
Go back to Poland, it's a dog whistle, means go back to the camps. Yeah, okay. I mean, again, Hasan, for people who are still wondering, Hasan is like unironically anti-Semitic, right? Like I feel like that should not be disputed at this point. The reason for this is because I think people really have a different view. Anti-Semitism can be split between Western anti-Semitism and Eastern anti-Semitism. Eastern anti-Semitism being like the way that Muslims and Arabs oftentimes perceive Jews, and Western anti-Semitism, which is like pro-Hitler stuff, Holocaust denial, Holocaust revisionism stuff, right? These are two different set of anti-Semitic beliefs and shit. And people only know how to recognize the Western version, but lots of people don't know or play dumb about the Eastern version of anti-Semitism, which is what Hasan does, right? Hasan has the Eastern version of anti-Semitism, but he is not the Western version of anti-Semitism. For the Eastern version of anti-Semitism, it's the denial of the pogroms, it's the denial of like anti-Jewish like treatment as a citizen or a second-class citizen under primarily Muslim countries, right? Yeah, it's just like a couple of these things. So just FYI, all right, these are two different kinds of anti-Semitism that people just, I don't know, need to just kind of realize, you know? You say Chink's crash about anti-Semitism? No, can you link that to me?
So look, the reality is
Timestamp 4601. Okay.
This is Pirate Bay.
Guys, this is a cringe warning. Look away if you can't handle it.
Okay.
Here it is.
Miss the old Kim K, the glory hole Kim K, down on her knees Kim K, all about them D's Kim K, I hate the new Kim K, the most produced Kim K, the always nude Kim K, cry on the news Kim K, the Fallout Boy Kim K, stepmama boy Kim K. Gotta say at the time I'd like to meet Kim K. See, we invented Kim K. It wasn't any Kim K's, and now I look around and there's so many Kim K's. I used to love Kim K. I used to love Kim K. And now Kim K doesn't love Kim K like I used to love Kim K. The end.
Why the fuck is he rapping as if he is like spitting? Like, dude. Oh my god. I feel like I just like swallowed like 5 fucking golf balls.
Bro, that was like
that was something
to me.
Else, man. What the fuck?
I feel like people got to make him explain that. This was not that long ago.
Hey, all about them D.
Always gonna be
Okay, let's play that again.
a social media star.
The other thing with Hasan, he's unreasonably good looking.
He was
and, like,
always going to
cool
succeed as a
and
social media
dresses
star.
cool. But you know what I mean? Like Hasan would be an influencer no matter what he was saying because
Exactly.
he is very attractive and very cool.
Yeah.
You might think this sounds familiar.
You can be ugly and succeed. I would know. I'm kidding. Alright, stop. Enough self-deprecation, okay?
Familiar because I stole it from Kanye's Life of Pablo, but you probably never got to hear this song because no one fucking listens to Tidal. But I'm kidding. You most likely downloaded the album illegally, just like Kanye did, because Kanye uses Pirate Bay.
Guys,
What?
this is a cringe warning. Look away if you can't handle it.
Okay.
Here it is.
Miss the old Kim K, the glory hole Kim K, down on her knees Kim K, all about them D's Kim K.
Huh?
I hate the new Kim K, the most produced Kim K, the always nude Kim K.
Wait. On her knees, Kim K? Can you wait, was that a part of the original lyrics or am I missing something here?
Cry on the news Kim K, the Fallout Boy Kim K, stepmama boy Kim K. Gotta say at the time I'd like to meet Kim K. See, we invented Kim K. It wasn't any Kim K's, and now I look around and there's so many Kim K's. I used to love Kim K. I used to love Kim K. And now Kim K doesn't love Kim K like I used to love Kim K.
Also, like, this is clearly Hasan's real voice. Like this is what Hasan actually sounds like. But he just like lowers his fucking like pitch on purpose. It's so cringe. It's so obvious that he's like faking it. Like you can tell like he's just such a fucking meat popsicle. He's like a living, breathing, like fucking vertical stand-up meat popsicle, okay?
The end.
Bro, that was like
that was something
to me.
else, man. What the fuck?
I feel like people got to make him explain that. This was not that long ago. He looks the same.
Well, it's 9 years ago. I would consider that fairly
I was pleading
long
more
ago.
to him looking similar. But yeah, 9 years ago is a long time.
I mean, he's right. Kim K does rhyme with Kim K.
Did he?
Like, that is...
That was a...
Okay.
is that intermarriage rates continue to go up. Assimilation continues apace.
This Nazi shit. This is shit that white supremacists.
Yeah, he doesn't sound like this. Like, this is not the same voice. Like, it's just not the same voice. What? Dude. I didn't know that trans people were the only people that did voice training. They weren't the only people. You know, some people do more voice training than trans people, okay? It's crazy.
Say, okay? How ironic that after a fucking century of Jews are doing the great replacement to taint the pure white.
Good job, King, on your gender transition. Very successful. Okay.
Race. Now you got a Jewish dude literally saying that about Jews.
No, he's talking about being worried that the culture is going to disappear, that eventually the number of self-described Jews will decrease. The man supports Trump. Call him a white supremacist for that, not for having a preference towards people in his culture marrying within it, the way a lot of cultures already do. Anyway, from there on, it's his greatest hits until he leaves. He licks the bean. Ick.
Yeah, it is off. Yeah.
He goes back to his hotel room and does more Israel news.
I'm gonna go wash my hands and pee.
And when an Arab Jew gets interviewed about Gaza, something interesting.
He takes Cesar and translate. Wait, yeah. Doesn't Hasan take testosterone? Wait, is that a thing? He takes testosterone, right? Yikes.
Happens.
We need to finish now all.
Meanwhile, if you listen to Destiny, like this guy is like the same, like fucking like same voice 10 years ago. I mean, he sounds a little more. He sounds more depressed now. Okay, I mean, Destiny is in his depression arc. Okay, you can tell. But you know.
The terror. If the name is Hamas, now we must.
Dude, that's so funny. Like this dude is a unk, bro. He looks identical to like half of the fucking Uber drivers we met today. You know he's Arab too. I mean Jewish, but Arab Jewish. That's not an unk. That's a Nazi. No, I'm just saying that like. Okay. This is the insidious nature of fascist ideology over an imaginary boundary that was fucking placed. Like, there ain't no way you'd know. Until he opened his mouth, you would never know.
Hasan actually pushes back.
Arab is not a race. We do not claim these people. They are not Arab. Stop saying they're Arab. It's revolting, frankly. I mean, they literally are. What are you talking about? They're from fucking Arab countries. They just happen to be Jewish. And now they're advocating for the fucking ethnic slaughter of all Arabs, all Palestinians, but just Arabs as a whole, really.
He actually has to tell his chat to calm down.
Also, chat doesn't need to calm down. That person is Arab. The person who's reacting is like me saying, is like a Latino person responding to me. Being,
dude, his chat is just like, just the Eastern version of neo-Nazis. It literally is. Like, he literally is the Eastern anti-Semitism version of like a neo-Nazi, right? Like, he is openly like that. I don't know.
Like, Nicolas Fuentes is not Latino, bro. He's not Hispanic.
Did he just say Ninjaless Fuentes? Did I just hear it out?
Call him something like a Latino person responding to me, being like, Nicolas Fuentes is not Latino, bro. He's not Hispanic. Okay, call him something else. That's what that person is saying. Okay, like, that dude is 100% an Arab Jew, right? 100%.
This is the audience you have cultivated, Hasan. They're following your orders.
Children in Gaza have been paying, the highest price for this unrelenting war that they have played no part in.
Channel 12 said that they need 250,000 reservists to permanently militarily occupy the Gaza Strip. They, I don't think, have the capabilities of maintaining interior security, an occupation in the West Bank, and an occupation in Gaza.
Real quick, can we go back to the logistics of Greater Israel and maintaining those borders? Then we're on to people getting arrested at a pro-Palestine protest.
In a wheelchair. I think I'm going to end it here.
I'm made of rubber.
Israel is directly at war with the truth. Israel's not even allowing Western press and Western media to enter the Gaza Strip. I mean, this is disgusting, right? This is like blatant Nazi propaganda. It's Holocaust denial. If Israel's standards for what constitutes a valid military target was applied, then you can't say anything that happened on October 7th is a fucking war crime. Like, literally, what do you mean? You could literally justify nuking Tel Aviv by that same standard. If the ADL can't stop me from getting placement in mainstream media outlets and magazines and fucking newspapers and whatnot, then it means that it's over. That's mostly to like a younger audience that wants to feel smart, and therefore they can't like actually broach the subject matter that's like dense and too complicated for them to comprehend. So they just like watch someone basically summarize the worst version of events and get their notes from that. That's just like children's entertainment.
Complete! Congratulations!
Thanks for getting me through my night shift. Oven is dragging... Oh, overnight is dragging ass. Oh, okay. No problem. I'm here for the overnight people, okay? Live, at the very least.
Claudette Colvin isn't remembered in history as the brave young woman who refused to give up her seat on the bus. Despite being a victim as much as anyone else of an unjust law, civil rights leaders felt that using Colvin's story would pull attention towards her character and away from the...
That's right. No, okay, I know what story. I know what story he's talking about now. He's talking specifically about how He's talking about colorism in the civil rights era movement type shit, where there was two women, okay, or two girls, I guess. One had darker skin than the other, despite both being black. They went through the same thing, and one like was more deserved, and the other one was basically disregarded, even though they were more of a victim because the optics were important to Martin Luther King, and Martin Luther King fought exclusively on the optics. His entire point is the optics. That's literally the entire point. His entire mission is the optics. So yeah, like, yeah.
Unconstitutionally segregated bus system. Rosa Parks would stage her refusal to give up a seat because it would create a narrative that was harder to discredit. Martin Luther King Jr. delayed protests in Birmingham more than
Optics cuss blown the fuck out? No. But Martin Luther King was the ultimate optics cuck. But it worked, right? Like, the thing is that, like, he was doing unethical things for the sake of using optics as a weapon. He was locking up black children on purpose in jails in order to gain sympathy from the public. That's why. Because he actually wants the black protesters and the black people to that marches with him to be arrested, to have police brutality on them. He wants that to be shown on purpose, so then he's able to garner support for himself. Yeah.
Wants to avoid swinging the 1963 mayoral election towards Bull Connor, an extremist segregationist, so that the less extreme segregationist Albert Boutwell would win. Fighting injustice is, in itself, an injustice. It requires bearing witness to the pain and suffering you want to prevent, as much as it requires taking action to end it. It takes incredible resolve, all for the sake of gaining the institutional power necessary to create systemic change that can last beyond one protest, one riot, one prison sentence. And at the heart of that resolve is compromise, with the people you want to save and the people who are hurting them, because ultimately, institutional power has to be ceded voluntarily for it to have legitimacy to the broader public. Fighting injustice is, in itself, an injustice. That's the lesson I want you to take away from this. Not that you're going to be disappointed with the results of your effort, but that your effort can actually change things for the better. Hasan promotes a worldview where you are morally obligated to reject compromise and coalition building because you somehow take on the sins of your allies. Hasan has spoken about Israel and Palestine near enough every day since October 7th, never changing the script, and despite having an audience larger than some entire US states, the most he has achieved is a couple of fundraisers. He has interviewed congresswomen and senators and mayoral candidate, but he cannot muster any genuine influence on policy via himself or his audience. He will talk at length about the influence of right-wing media.
Oh. There is a figure in history that does match this description a lot more. Malcolm X, okay, but no.
And how Democrats need to use the same tactics as Trump, but he never actually puts those two things together as a form of concrete action. He just lets his audience fester in directionless rage, cheering whenever someone else does something violent that they can get some vicarious catharsis from,
And Kobe!
and screaming whenever someone says, "How about we stop fighting?" because it doesn't give them the same kind of dopamine hit. Criticizing Trump isn't enough to counterbalance that kind of ideological dysfunction.
I know Trump is doing this out of pure malice.
He can and has called Trump a Nazi, but that line of attack carries no weight without creating a clear difference between Trump being a Nazi
Oh, he's getting up there.
and Israel.
Yeah, and Israel being a bunch of nonsense. Exactly. When you use a word too often, you dilute the meaning, and therefore any term and anything that you call a Nazi here on out will no longer mean anything, right?
being Nazis.
True.
And all of this comes at the expense of people in the United States who now have to endure another 4 years of Trump, and hopefully just another 4, and the Palestinians who now have to endure a much more brutal conflict between Israel and Hamas. Regardless of if you think the left cost Harris the 2024 election, Hasan's message helps no one but Hasan, and that's the point. Political drama can be entertainment as a vehicle to keep people informed, but Hasan is using actual human lives for political drama that only serves as a vehicle to keep people paying attention to him, attention he doesn't even reciprocate. You are not obligated to psychologically flagellate yourself to the sin of being born in one place any more than a Palestinian needs to get killed for being born in another. You are self-harming to feel less guilty about a situation you don't have control over, and Hasan is enabling and encouraging it in order to make money. He courts a
Or, you know, you don't have to subject yourself to the pain of watching Hasan streams, okay? Unless you're making a video on it, alright? Then sure.
following of young people eager to engage with politics as a means to fix the world, and then uses the cover of real injustices to launder his extremism.
They got a bunch of fucking 18-year-olds wearing sandals, running up to $30 million fucking pieces of equipment and dumping an IED in there, going, I'm not fucking stupid and bloodthirsty.
He puts his hatred of Israel over and above the real grave danger the Palestinian people are in as they experience starvation, oppression, and injustice as they are trapped between a group that sees them as a necessary sacrifice at the altar of Israel's destruction, and a military being led by someone who needs the war to continue to avoid going to prison. Hasan doesn't get rich like a capitalist by exploiting workers and overcharging for a product. He gets rich by exploiting his viewers' energy. The real effort that they could put into improving the world by convincing them that watching his streams is of equal value to engaging in a political system.
If you give up now, as pressure is mounting, instead of still continuously trying to get more people on board.
Because his streams do nothing, and he tells them that the system does nothing.
There is no real democratic process here.
And despite numerous terms of service violations,
what the fuck are you gonna do, bro?
He's still standing because of the value he has for Twitch and the relationship he has with Dan Frenzy specifically.
Bro, we're never beating the Hasan runs Twitch allegations after this.
But at this point, it's gone too far, and Twitch has turned a blind eye for too long. So here it is, front and center.
Shut up, go back to Auschwitz.
Shut up! Go back to Auschwitz! MK Lambert, thank you for the 50 gifted subs.
Shut up, go back to Auschwitz.
Not the 50 gifted subs.
Yeah. Remember 9/11. Shut up, go back to Auschwitz. Remember 9/11.
Welcome to Hasan. Yeah.
Jesus. I mean, like, dude, I feel like the sweepers would say something like, oh, well, he was just making fun of him because he said it with a funny voice, and it was funny because it was a funny voice, you know? That's probably what the sweepers would say.
Jews live all around the fucking world. That's why even...
Wait, so what's the point of the Rosa Parks Malcolm X stuff? It is like the comparison and the optics and the genuine change stuff. Okay.
As an ethno-religion, okay, the reason why